I saw something this morning that kind of pissed me off, so we'll talk about this a little bit. You know, okay, they were having this Paralympics thing. And like the day before this was going to open, the Russian team was just sent home. The Olympic Committee decided that they were not eligible. It was something that was done from pressure from other countries. You know, just a pettiness there. So they sent them home. You know, it's totally against the spirit of the thing, just the humanity of the thing. It was just wrong. But there's a lot of that sort of thing going on now, and I don't know why people can't look a little deeper and see the flaws in that logic. But it's like a knee-jerk reaction, and they think, well, this really accomplished something. You know, on just stupid things, but, you know, it's that whole cancel culture deal they got going. But I find it very annoying, and it was good to see that, okay, so the Russians decided, you know, they brought them home and, you know, they welcomed them and they're going to have to set up their own games to make up for it to these people, because that's a hell of a thing. You know, I mean, that's just as low as you can go, I would have thought. But then today I'm watching, it was a little clip from ABC News, I think it was. One of the mainstream ones. You know, there's three of these talking heads sitting there. And they're saying, oh boy, you know, we rely on the Russians to get us up and down from the space station. Now, they're definitely afraid that there's one American astronaut up there, and they say, oh, they're going to abandon him there. You know, the next time when they come back, they're just going to leave that American there. Like this could possibly happen. You know, to even think that this could happen. But, you know, they've been going around, all these, like, dancers and opera stars and conductors and stuff. Every one of them, they're kicking them out of work if they have any connection to Russia. You know, there was a time when the arts and science was immune to these vagaries of politics. You know, that was supposed to be left above that. I remember reading about this back when our Revolutionary War started. Captain Cook was in the middle of one of his voyages of discovery. And of course that was Royal Navy. And the order went out to our ships immediately that if they came across Captain Cook anywhere, he was not to be hindered, and if he needed assistance, it was to be rendered to him. They were not supposed to interfere with him in any way. That was science. That was above that political nonsense. I think it was Franklin who brought this up, but it was agreed that was the way to handle it. We have digressed from there a long way. That people think that that sort of thing is possible. That you would just leave somebody up in the space station. You know, incredible that they would even think that way. But some of these talking heads are just full of shit. Just plain full of shit. Well, of course, then immediately Elon Musk said, well, he'd go up and get him. You know, he'd come up with some way of getting up there and bringing this poor stranded, Musk is a fairly smart guy, but he is a hell of a grandstander. The man has got some problems there, and not unusual in somebody who is like a genius, could be a complete idiot in some things, and this sort of thing, he's kind of a complete idiot in his social. Because I know the one day he was saying, oh, well, he could, by the push of a button, shut off any Tesla that was in Russia. Well, that makes me think, yeah, that's a good reason not to buy a Tesla. That was a stupid thing to say, but he's very socially awkward. I think, like I say, the man's got problems, but that was a stupid thing to say. But that we would think that this is possible, that they would just abandon. I tell you, this is, for years it has been, anytime there has been any natural disaster, the first ones to offer their help has always been the Russians, which is why they have a lot of friends in some pretty tough places. Because they are there right away. They will offer to give any assistance. Even when we had like floods down here or hurricanes, the Russians were the first to say, is there anything we can do? Any help we can give you? Even like with this pandemic, I mean, they were down in all these South American countries giving their medicine away to these people, trying to help with no strings attached. But that's how they made friends. But us, every time we do something, we got to look at it like, what's in it for us? That's our first consideration. We aren't going to do anything just for the sake of humanity. It has to be something that profits something to us. But that they would just entertain the thought that this is possible, that they would abandon somebody out in space. People are just nuts. They're just so incredibly petty. And they'll do this stuff and pat themselves on the back for doing it and never think what a horrible mistake they're making. I really don't know how people can stand themselves sometimes. It worries me.